Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Duncan Pattie ahead of his fight against Kayne Holmes. How are you doing today?
Yourself?
I'm doing good. And how has training camp been for this fight?
Yeah, it's been really good. Been tough at times, but yeah, it's went really well. Got a lot of hard rounds in. Everybody that's fighting on Unity has been pushing hard, so ready to go.
Exactly. And this is a fight against Kayne, who is on a four-fight winning streak. You do hold I think it's a two-fight winning streak. Do you
Yeah, that's
feel
right. Yeah.
like that is just going to play a big factor in putting on a show for both for the crowd?
I think it's going to be a really good fight. It's a good challenge for myself. Kane's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good one for the fans. I think we both come ready to scrap, and I think it'll be a good fight on the night.
And where do you think your strengths are in this fight?
Sorry, say that again, mate.
What do you think your strengths are over Kanye?
Um, to be honest, I think he's really well rounded. I think I'm not going to kind of look over him and say that I'm going to be stronger. I know I'm obviously a bit bigger. I'll probably be bigger than him, obviously, considering he's a lightweight. But I don't think that to be a factor. As I say, I've seen some of his footage. He looks like a well-rounded fighter. I think it'll be quite a back and forth. I think we're probably both around about the same level. I would like to think.
Exactly. And you're from Kirkcaldy. How
That's right. Yeah.
big how big was it to have a fighter like Stevie Ray, who's been in the UFC, been in the PFL World Championships, to come from Kirkcaldy? How big was it to have him?
Yeah, he's. I mean, Stevie's done it all. He's achieved quite a lot in the sport. Obviously, he was kind of like from like I called everybody kind of knew him. It was like a big
Yeah,
deal for everybody that he kind of got to where he is. Yeah, he's achieved it all really. Do you know what I mean? He's put on a really good show, and as I say, kind of everybody kind of knows him for that. You know what I mean?
and do you feel like he's kind of like inspired like a generation of fighters to come up now?
Yeah, I would say so. I think, as I say, like because he's obviously reached the heights of the UFC and PFL and stuff like that. I think it's probably given people the drive to want to kind of pursue that as well. Knowing that if you put the hard work in, I mean, obviously he's got a lot of talent, but obviously,
Yeah.
like if you put the hard work in and you turn up to training and take it seriously, then you never know what could happen.
And this is your second fight of the year. Was that like the goal for the year, or would you have liked to be a bit more active?
To be honest, after my last fight, it was quite soon, well, with reasonably quick after my fight in November last year. So I'd kind of planned to get one in the start of the year, and then I'd planned to take a couple of months off, spend some time with the family, and then kind of get out around about summertime. Tried to get matched for a couple of shows, just unfortunately just didn't really happen. And then kind of just was looking for a fight at the time, and then when I got offered Unity, it was a wee bit further in advance than I'd kind of
Yeah,
planned. But again, love fighting on the show. Last time was really good, really well organised. So it just happens to be the way it was. Yeah, I'd planned to probably fight at least one more time than that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can only control what you can control.
exactly. And like you're saying, you did fight in Unity last time. Do you feel like you're now starting to get a good bond with the organization?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like our gym, like we've had guys fighting on there quite a couple number of years now. I think like we always go down and put on a good showing, win or lose. So I think Steve that runs Unity likes that, and as I say, he's a really good guy to deal with and stuff like that too. So I think we've kind of probably got a bit more of a bond. As I say, it's probably more of the gym than myself. But as I say, I was glad to be kind of asked back down to fight again.
Yeah. And how hard is it at times to be able to find an opponent? Because obviously, like you're saying, you're wanting to get back in there.
Um, it's it's one of those ones that it can be sometimes be really difficult or sometimes really easy. I think as you're kind of starting, like kind of if you've only had a couple of fights, and people are more kind of inclined to fight you. I think as your record kind of builds,
Yeah,
then it's sometimes a bit more like some people maybe see it as a risk, or sometimes sometimes certain shows maybe don't have the same connections, or there's guys matched. It's sometimes just your luck, to be honest. Sometimes you're kind of hoping for a match, and there's guys already on shows within like a couple of weeks of each other, and it's just that's kind of I think what's happened to me over the summer and stuff. Like it's just there was loads of shows round about the ones I was trying to get matched on, and I think it's just been that they've managed to get the fighters on that. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. Because speaking to some other people, they moved up to pro scene because they're struggling to find the opposition.
Yeah.
How long do you feel like it is for you before you're starting to consider going pro?
Um, That's a good question. I'm not really, to be fair, I still feel like I'm kind of learning
Yeah,
every day, and I mean, I'm like realistically, I'm older. Like I'm never, it's never going to be my job. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these young guys that are coming through, they're training all the time, and that's like their aspirations. A lot of the guys at the gym and that's kind of what they're wanting to do. I'm quite realistic of saying that I would like to go pro at some point. Whether my body lets me or whether I get the time to do it, I'm not sure. So I kind of don't really. It's something I would always love to do, but it's not something that I would kind of look at in the near future. I kind of see it as it would maybe be down the line at some point. Should I keep fighting, sort of thing.
yeah.
But like obviously, I'm realistic of the fact I'm 32. Most of the guys that are going pro are like in their like mid 20s sort of thing. So there is that as well. But if the opportunity came up and my coach felt like I was ready for it, and then fair enough, yeah, I would definitely go for it.
However, like you're saying, you are 32, so this is most likely going to be your full-time job. But do you
Mhm.
feel like it is that you still have got a bit of a career in the sport? If you just look in the UFC champions currently, Piera's 38. You think there's a lot of champions in their 30s already.
Mhm.
So it does look like the age thing is expanding to be later as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like as I say, I would never say never. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that like I would. I'm kind of ruling myself out. As I say, I suppose it's your opportunities as well. Kind of some guys are kind of fighting out of massive gyms and stuff like that. They've got more kind of watchful eyes on it, so it's kind of easier for them to go kind of like down that road. Um, but yeah, there's definitely, as I say, there's still a lot of, I mean, I've still got like a lot in the tank yet, but as I say, I'm just not really sure exactly what direction I'm going in yet.
And do you feel like how long have you been training in martial arts?
So I've been training in martial arts for about 6 years. I did a little bit of boxing in that time and stuff like that as well. I've been at Food Dog for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So yeah, I've just been I've not been in the sport. As I'm saying, I kind of make a point of that. Like I came to the game late. I tried it when I was like in my early 20s. Didn't really fit. It wasn't really a fit for me. Gave it another shot and enjoyed it. Again, I've kind of came late to it. So like as I say, the opportunity for kind of going pro and stuff like that was probably a lot more unrealistic than some of the young guys. Um, but as I say, I'm just trying to make the most of it while I'm here.
Exactly. And do you feel like having that boxing experience is helps you just starting off because you have to use your hands in the cage, you're using your hands in the boxing ring. So you
Um,
kind of can translate that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. I mean, like obviously having hands is good. I feel like obviously it could potentially pick up some bad habits as well.
Yeah.
I mean, completely different sport. I mean, a lot of people from the outside think, oh, it's similar, but realistically, it's not. Um, like for instance, like I probably, being honest, I was probably had some bad habits when I came back to MMA. I kind of was boxing for a little while, then came back, and I probably had some bad habits from that. Stances are different. Do you know what I mean? The way
Yeah.
you kind of try and control rounds are different. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely good to be a good like to have a boxing background, but at the same time, it can also have its bad habits that come with that.
Exactly. You can kind of see that maybe slightly with Francis Ngannou moving from MMA to boxing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You see like loads of MMA guys that go to boxing, and I mean, like, there's a reason you don't see it coming the other way very often. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you feel like you're saying, you don't see it very often going the other way? However, it is starting to pick up a little bit. I think Jake Paul's announced he's going to do an MMA fight next year. You have Clarissa Shields, Terry
Yeah.
Harper, they've moved in. So do you feel like What do you make of them moving into the sport as well?
So I like the fact that like as I say, Clarissa Shields and like people that are coming in. Jake Paul, it's to start with when I first seen him, I'm kind of like, oh, like it's just like well, another YouTuber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's making a lot of fucking money though. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really like him, so I'm probably not probably the best person to ask for that. As I say, he's kind of hard to deny that he's obviously got something. He fights a lot smaller guys, and obviously he's fighting a 60-year-old next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think if the people are making the transition, I think like I feel like they deserve to if they feel like they've done what they can in boxing, or maybe what they can't, like maybe they've got to a point where they feel like they've gone as far as they can and they want to transition into MMA. Then, I mean, I think that's good. It's good for the sport. It's a lot more. It just puts more eyes, potentially boxing fans, kind of coming across to watch MMA. So it's always a good thing.
And like you said earlier on, you took a fight in November, then you wanted to get back active, had one early this year, and then you had a wee bit break to spend it with your family. Is that kind of what the road you're going next year? Take probably one early 2025 break and then come back, or are you looking to stay a bit more active?
Um, I'm not 100% sure to be honest. As I say, like I kind of take every fight as it comes
Yeah.
because like a couple of years back, I kind of, to be fair, after kind of COVID and stuff, when I got my first loss, I kind of had in my head before COVID hit and everything, I was like, right, I'm getting back to it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then when COVID broke and it was it, I was like, right, I'm fighting 4 times this year, and I feel like the more you make all these plans, you just end up disappointed if it doesn't come to fruition. So I'm kind of got in my head that. I've got Kane in front of me, a tough fight, a good challenge for me. I'll focus on him, and then obviously Christmas isn't far away, so enjoy Christmas with my family and just see where we are after that. If a fight comes up that interests me, or and it happens to be quite early in the year, then we'll see where we're at after that.
And how do you see this fight playing out? Do you feel like you're just gonna mix around your overall game, try to get us to the ground? What's your game plan?
Um, I'll probably not reveal too much, but
Yeah,
yeah, nah, I feel
yeah.
like
Keep some
being
secrets.
honest, I feel like it's going to be a back and forth fight. I think, as I say, Kane, like as I say, Kane's a very good fighter. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm a very good fighter. I feel like it's, as I say, it's one for the fans. I feel like he's very well rounded. I feel like I think I'm very well rounded. I think it's one of those ones where that we'll probably both be coming for a finish, so it's going to be exciting. Whereas, but so I'm kind of looking at it as I'm just going to see where the fight goes. I'm always looking for a finish, but at the same time, I'm quite happy to go the 3 rounds if I have to. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of see how it kind of goes. After like I could have a game plan, and then 2 seconds later it's out the window, or he hits me with someone I'm not expecting, or you know what I mean. So I'll just adjust accordingly to and try and get my hand raised at the end.
exactly. And how do you feel like the Scottish MMA scene is evolving just now? Obviously, currently in the UFC, you have Chris Duncan, you have Paul Craig who's fighting just in the next pay-per-view. In Cage Warriors, you have Damon Donald, you have Sean Clancy,
Yeah,
PFL, Gemma Olds, and Lorenzo. It's just a lot of up-and-coming fighters coming from Scotland.
yeah. No, I feel like this. I feel like the Scottish MMA scene now is booming. It's just especially like with like, all the signings, as I say, with Cage Warriors and PFL and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, like yeah, you've got Chris and Paul in the UFC, obviously like flying the flag. But like I think all the up and coming fighters, and even to be honest, like some of the guys like that are coming up through amateur ranks and stuff like that. Like I'm looking
Yeah,
at like the some of the guys fighting on the Unity card,
yeah,
and like you know them, you've seen them, and it's you're like fucking hell, like they're all coming up, and it's good. It's like really good to see, as I say, like, and I mean, like I've got loads of young guys in our gym as well, and like you're seeing them now, and like I know for a fact in a couple of years, like their names are going to be well known. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I feel like it's probably the best it's been. I feel like there's a lot of exposure on it. I feel like, as I say, Cage Warriors and stuff like that coming to Scotland's definitely helped, and PFL, and I feel like kind of a lot of fighters that weren't really getting the opportunity. Like I knew like Mark Ewan, for instance, was like struggling to
yeah,
get matched for ages, and then obviously PFL have came in and given him the opportunity, so he's getting matched now. Like there was a lot of like I suppose boogeymen, if you know what I mean, in Scottish MMA, that and like Sean Clancy, for instance, like let's be honest, nobody wants to fight him. So like you're seeing guys like that are coming through, and it's exciting because you're looking at them going, they're going to be world champions. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, it's very it's good as from a fan's point of view. Like I'm loving the way it's going just now.
And did you go to either the Cave Warriors in Glasgow or the PFL?
So I was I was actually meant to go to both. So the PFL, can't remember. There was a reason I couldn't. There was a reason I couldn't make it. But Cage Warriors, I was going to go up until pretty much the last minute, and then it was like a few folk had dropped out, and then I was just like, ah, I'm not that fussed. And then, if I'm totally honest, I got an offer of a cheap ticket, but then when I seen that Clancy was in the reserve bout,
Yeah,
I was a wee bit like, fuck, like I would have wanted to go and see him win the whole thing. And and probably if I hadn't been for like the bantamweight tournament before that, and I thought like if there was big injuries, but there's no elbows or anything like that, like the chances of somebody getting injured was pretty slim. So I kind of thought like, what's the point in going along? And to be fair, I'm kind of glad because you seen like the crowd for the final was like there was nobody there. Like
yeah.
people went to see Clancy and see the Scottish guys, and then it was done. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of glad I never went, and it was just as I say, I had planned to go, and then last minute I was kind of like, ah, I'm no bother.
And do you feel like Cage Warriors kind of like missed the opportunity there? They were building up this prize fighter tournament. They were building up Clancy fighting in the being in the home crowd, and then he's on
Yeah,
the reserve bout. Do you feel like they
yeah.
probably should have done something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know it was meant to be like a
Yeah,
draw and stuff like that,
yeah,
but fix the draw. You know what I mean? Fix the draw and have Clancy in it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that was like, and I think they know that. Like, I think they'll realize that as well. Like, as I say, like, I just remember watching, like, I watched the fight on telly and stuff like that, and watched Emil Brown and that win it. But I was watching it going, oh my god, I've never seen a main, like, regardless of where it is,
yeah.
like, I've never seen a main event that quiet. Like they just missed a trick with it, and they just, as I say, like, regardless of what had happened, like, they were all there for to see Sean win. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
obviously, his fans obviously turned up to watch him fight. But then it was very obvious that once he had fought, like, and obviously the Scottish guys had fought, like, most people weren't really interested. Eh?
And do you feel like with obviously two cars came to Scotland this year with Cage Warriors, do you feel like that helps you if you can get just a couple of more wins, maybe turn pro, you can maybe even get on like one of the first couple of fights in Cage Warriors?
I mean, I suppose it's good to dream, eh? Yeah, I mean that would be amazing. Like I say, I'm quite a realist of the fact that, like, I don't know where, I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what I'm going to be doing next. As I say, by the way, I'm not retiring here. By the way, I'm fully playing this down a lot here. But yeah, I'm just want to see where I am, and as I say, get through this fight, get another win, and then just kind of see what opportunities it leads me on to.
Well, I know you're going to get the victory here and you can get on to bigger things next time. I'll let you
Thanks,
have the
mate.
final word. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Yeah, I'll thank my sponsors, Blair Ford Painter and Decorator, been helping me out through this camp, and my strength and conditioning coach also been helping me out, Ian Jack Fitness. I want to thank all the guys at Food Dog, all my teammates, all the guys that have been putting me through the hard rounds. Want to thank Ian Feenan, obviously my head coach, been keeping me right this whole camp, and I want to say a big thanks to my wife, who's basically been helping out around the house. I've barely been here, so she's been helping out and and looking after the wee one for me and stuff. So yeah, she's been great. So yeah, that's about it. In fact, there's one thing I do want to address quickly. I was kind of waiting for you to bring it up so I could just jump on it, but um, one thing I've did hear was that when Kane had his interview, was they said that they made it that I was, because I'm older and stuff like that. I think I'm going to be the more mature, and I'm going to be more mature into the cage and stuff, right? And don't get me wrong, I get a wee bit of hype and stuff. I understand that, but I don't know what part of the fucking interview you watched because I never said that. So just wanted to clear that up quickly.
No, that's great. I'm glad. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.